Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pokemon White. In the last part, we defeated Bianca again, and then we went back to the big court and to the big stadium and small court to see how much more stronger those trainers can be there. Okay, now before we move on to the next road. Now, if you recall when we talked to this guy right here, yeah, he said that he wanted to see a Pokemon that was at least level 30. But thankfully, since our Krokorok at least managed to actually get to that level, yeah, we can now get the item from this guy. And the item we get is indeed the Expert Bout. Now, for those of you who don't know what that item does, it is essentially an item where you can essentially have all of the super effective, all of like when your moves are super effective against your opponents, they will deal with even more damage. But anyways, now past that, we're now on the next route, Route 6. Now, this is where the whole season mechanic really comes into play here. Yeah, more so, not only in terms of the Pokemon you encounter, but also the Pokemon that is essentially based on the seasons. Yeah, and it's actually this Pokemon that we're actually fighting against right now. That being a Deerling. Now, Deerling here, of course, now changes. Now the form of Deerling, will change. Changes. Depending on the season. Depending on the seasons itself. Now, considering that we're going for this game in autumn. For right now. Which means now the form of Deerling that we are going to be encountering, yeah. Now these Deerling are going to be more orange. Now if you encounter Deerlings during spring, they will be a pink. The summer Deerling are green. And lastly, the winter Deerling are more brownish. Yeah, I want to say either brown or grayish, but I think I'm just gonna go for brown. But anyway, always everyone. Now, as I was saying, starting with this route. Yeah, it is essentially where the Pokemon you encounter during a season may be different. Now, if you were to go through this place in any other season aside from winter, you will encounter Tranquils here. Yeah, now, however, though, if you go here during the winter, you will encounter Vanillites. Yeah, that's right. Now here we have another route where you can actually encounter Vanillites. Yeah, as you've seen, yeah. Now we've already managed to get ourselves our own Deerling. So okay, now I feel like I'm just gonna spend my time here just so I could try to find the other two Pokemon I can find here. And here is one of them right now. Foongus! Yep, the Pokemon that now we have a mushroom Pokemon where the top of it really marks the shape of a Pokeball. Now, and I guess I should say this right now as well. Some of these items that some items that you will see with it in this route. They may not be actual items themselves, but instead they are just fungus in disguise. Yeah, essentially it is the same ordeal with Voltorbs and Electrodes. Yeah, Foongus, the mushroom Pokemon. Yeah, fungus are definitely your typical mushrooms. Yeah, but these are mushrooms that can poison you if you're not careful. Yeah. But anyways, everyone, now let me see if I can also try to find a Care Blast, which we can find which we can also find here no matter the season. So yeah, I mean, so I'm just gonna stay here a while so I could try to find my Care Blast if I can. Oh yeah, National Sea as well. Yeah. Now also in this route is where we can also find SWAT loons. Yeah. So essentially, if you want to skip Swandle entirely, yeah. Now here's where you can actually try to actually get some SWAT loons. Now, as for the Pokemon that you can find, in the water. Now you still find Basculins here. Now, as for the fishing, while you still find a Poliwags and a and also Poliwhirls, but however though, in this route, which I believe it is the only location where you can actually find Politoads. So yeah, now if you want to skip the process of trying to trade a Poliwhirl with while holding a King's Rock, and also trade with it at the same time. Now here is where you can simply just catch your wild Politoads. So yeah. But anyways, everyone, now as for the Pokemon that are actually swarming here, now this time there actually are two. Well, actually one for each version, and the Pokemon that you find here this time. Now for Pokemon White, we can find Minans. Minans here, and for a Pokemon Black is where you can find Plusles. So yeah. Now both of the cheering Pokemon. They can be found within this route. Just you essentially have to play different versions if you want to get both. Unless if you want to utilize the transfer system that they implemented into this game. The transfer system, which of course we will go over as soon as we actually reach that spot. Okay. Now also, everyone. In this route as well. Now there is actually going to be a building that is actually something that we are going to see as soon as we cross this bridge here. Now, and on the other side, it is a building which is actually accurately known as the season research lab. Now it is a facility dedicated to the research of the seasons. And they are essentially doing research on the seasons, and they're also doing some research on the Pokemon Deerlings as well. Yeah, now hence why we actually do see some scientists within this route and for every scientist we battle against, they will always have a Deerling with them. Yeah, considering that they obviously are gonna do, considering that they are doing research on the Deerlings and whatnot. Yeah, so yeah. Now, there is actually another thing that I will talk about when it comes to the season research lab. But I'll talk about it as soon as we actually get to the actual build itself. But as everyone as you've been seeing, yep, both our Pansage and Substriker have now reached level 30. And now you swear, I may want to utilize that rare candy that I've actually been saving for quite a while. Yeah, that rare candy that I actually found just before, literally after we defeated Bianca, and now I think it's about time that we used it. And I've already decided on the Pokemon I wanted to use it on, and that of course be my Pansage here. And the reason for that is because when he reaches level 31, Pansage will learn a move, that being acrobatics, and this right here will be the final my last move that I will teach to my Pansage before we actually get to evolving him. So yeah, everyone, now is time. Yeah, it is finally time for our Pansage to finally evolve. Yeah, it was surely a long time coming, but it's now happening. And he's now a Simisage! Yeah, now our team really just got real now. Because finally, every single one of our team members, well, assigned from our Sigilif, has finally evolved. Yeah, now we can really get through this game with, I want to say, not having to deal with too much trouble. But considering that our pick 9, Alpatoad and Krokorok, since those guys can still evolve. Since those guys can still evolve again. So it will still be a while before we even get to, before we reach our full power. Okay, alright, now enough of that. Now, as you may see there, yep, now here's where we get to the season research lab. Yep, this building right here. Now, I'm sure one of these scientists here will tell you that he wants to see every single season every single form of Deerling. And I'm sure once I've shown him once you've shown him every single form of Deerling, then he will give you a leaf stone. Yeah, the item that I wanted for my Pansage. But obviously we got our leaf stone way earlier in the game. Because obviously I did not want to have to wait for like four like another 3 months in order for me to get the evolution item that I needed. So yeah, and I'm honestly not gonna spend like another 3 months just getting a evolution item that I like already have. So that's why I'm not gonna spend too much time just trying to hunt for all of these different for all of these different forms of Deerling. Yeah, I'm just not going to do that. But anyway, where's everyone now? Now, also for this route, considering that we aren't now, if you were to go for this route during the winter, just like with Driftvel and the cold storage, there will be hail falling onto you. As you get into battles. So yeah, for those of you who are going for this game during the winter, yeah, you probably definitely had yourself a much more, I want to say a more tougher time, just so you could try to get through all those battles, while constantly just trying to avoid not taking too much. Of course, we're trying to take too much damage from the hail weather. So yeah. Okay, now, and I think this is about enough of what I really have to say for not only the research facility, but also the research season lab, but also this whole route, but also for this whole route entirely. But however, what I will say is, now we obviously cannot get fully access. Now we obviously cannot explore everywhere in this route just yet. Yeah, considering that we obviously do not have the HM move that we need in order for us to surf across the water. Yeah. So yeah, we are obviously so we obviously are going to come back here once we get surf. Because, and it is not just for item purposes, but more so. Oh wait, I think it's right here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now when you see a Pokeball bounce, which means that that there is a fungus that is actually there. Yeah. Yeah, that right there is what I was referring to before. Okay. Now, as I was saying, now it is just for purposes. There is actually another cave that we can only get access to once we get surf. So yeah, we'll be coming back here as soon as we get surf. Because in that cave, it will contain something very, very special. Well, actually, a few things. Maybe some brand new Pokemon encounters there. Oh yeah, and speaking of which, that's right. Now here's where we get to our first actual encounter with Frillish. Yeah, that's right. The water and ghost type Pokemon, Frillish. Now of course, and that form of Frillish that we just saw, was it a female? Oh wait, is what the female Frillish look like? Oh yeah, and as you just saw there. Yeah, you actually gotta leave so by simply just walking from that item that we just freaking picked up. So yeah, this route actually gives you not one but 2 freaking leaf stones. Yeah, one from that scientist, and that other one from, and from that item that we just got. So yeah, even if we didn't get a leaf stone from that guy, from that guy, the back in Castelia City. Yeah, it still would have taken us a much more longer time in order for us to finally evolve our Pansage. But I felt like, yeah, obviously I didn't want to wait for too long in order for me to actually get my leaf stone. Yeah, just so I can. Yeah, of course, since I wanted to wait until when it was the right time, and if I actually got the perfect moveset, no, actually, what I should say is, yeah, as soon as I got all of the moves that I wanted my Pansage to have, yeah, and I honestly didn't want to wait for too long before I actually get the evolution item that I obviously needed in order for me to evolve Pansage. But anyways, yeah, now we have this guy now who's talking about a cave called Charge a Stone Cave. Yeah, and that right there is actually the cave that we're actually gonna be meeting Clay at. So yeah. Oh yeah, and then we also have this guy who's talking about Miss Jalton Cave, and he says that a Pokemon called Cobalion actually lives there. Yeah, that right there is what I was talking about. Yeah, about that cave that we can only get access to once we get the ancient move Surf. Yeah, that right there is one of the things that we are going to see. Yeah, once we actually get ourselves access to Surf. Oh yeah, and as you saw for that little girl there. Yeah, now we actually just got a shiny stone. Oh yeah, now this guy who was talking about the Celestial Tower. Yeah, now another location of which we are going to go towards. Yeah, as soon as we go as far as we can on that route. But anyways, now as you can see as well, when you talk to this woman at this cabin here, now she will heal up your team. So yeah, so thankfully you don't have to go all the way back to the Pokemon Center again. Okay, everyone. Now I think since we've reached just about as far as we could possibly go on Route 6, now I think this is where we're going to end off this part. Really? Really? What? Really? Are you serious? The moment that I wanted to end off this video, a Pokemon just had to spawn in that last chunk of grass, so that I actually went through. Then out appears a freaking Pokemon that I still had to get on this route. Like, really, Carablast? You decide to show up now of all things. Like, really, he decides to show up now when I was just about to end off this video. Wow. Wow, Carablast, the clamping a Pokemon. Yeah, you surely are something. You really are surely are something else today. Okay, now with all that said and done, now is where I'm going to end off this part. And so we shall continue on for the next one. And so until then, I'll see you guys next time.